All right, this is the carburetor I installed. It's a Carter YF, I think a YF. But anyway, this carburetor, when I would go uphill, the engine would bog down and it would be like starving for gas. So after looking around, I realized that this carburetor, I installed it in this direction, front to back. But on the Ford straight six that this carburetor was originally made for, it's installed in this direction. That's the back, this is the front. So when I would go up a real steep hill, like over a pile of dirt, this carburetor would get sloshing and be actually thinking the vehicle was rolling over, I guess. So this is the orientation the carburetor needs to be installed, not this way. So now you look at the motor, you say, why is the intake manifold off of there? Well, I was making adapter plate. Here's the adapter plate I made. It's like 3/4 of an inch thick. New mounting bolts for the carburetor, which I had to cut the bolt heads because they hit right there. So while I was test fitting this to go on there, which it does, goes on there, and then I had to take those hex head bolts and make large tapered head bolts to fit so they're flush with the top of that when they're in there. But you still say, why is the manifold off? Well, if you drop this nut in this hole and it goes down in there, and you take a magnet for about, an hour, trying to look around in there to get that bolt back out of there, and then you realize you're not getting it. So you take this off to realize that the bolt has made its way all the way down into this port behind the valve stem and is stuck in there. Takes you another 35 minutes with a wire and a magnet and everything fishing around in there to finally get that bolt out of there. So now you're into new gaskets and things like that. So that's where I'm at right now. I got to catch up and get back to the carburetor thing because I got to get this manifold back on now that I got these new gaskets. I'll be back. All right, now that we're back to what we were originally doing, here we have my adapter plate. Got a rag in there. So we're going to install that. That's marked front. We got to make sure these little grounded off sections are over there facing that, which we could do that. I should have put a gum band on there. But anyway, here we go. Oh, that on there. Flats are in the right spot. Down on there. Get our tapered screw. I did put a little bit of black goo in there just because this is metal and aluminum. So I wanted to make sure that I was good. I am. In there. Gasket feels like it's in the right spot. You have to put these bolts in because you can't get them in after. Oh. It's nice this being thicker. It makes it so it ain't bending around and everything like that. All right. Maybe we should tighten it a little bit more. Need to get a small crescent wrench or something. All right. Get on that. Beauty of having screwdrivers with the little wrench flicky doodle on there. You get that last little oomphy. Oh, that's about it for that one. About it for that one. Okay, we're below the surface. All right. Don't forget to get that out of there. Now, the carburetor. All right. So it used to sit like this, like this. So now we want it to sit this way. I know there's no gasket on there. Okay, now it's got to sit like that. Okay. We may have to get a shorter air cleaner. I think that's a 2.5 high. I might be able to have to get a 2 and cut that off a smidgen, but we'll have to see. And anyway, there's that. Throw this gasket on there. On there. Okay. I left all my bolts way over here this time because I didn't want to mess. No mess. All right. I do have to redo this bracket. This bracket was bolted right here. Now I got to make a bracket come off of this over there, then this way, because I have to get my coil hooked to something now too. All right, I'll be back once I get this bolted down or the nuts started. All right, we got the bracket made. There it is. It ain't pretty, but I had to use like a U channel. I actually made one out of flat stock, and it was too not rigid enough to go from across here down to there. But it works. I don't know if I get a look at that or not. Here we go. Right there. The air cleaner still fits. I might have to put a 1/2 inch shorter, tall air cleaner on there. But let me get the fuel lines hooked up and all the wires and the rest of the water. I did get the temperature sending unit back in, and oh, my heater loop. And oh, can't forget to plug my choke in, because I had put that electric choke on there. So, all right, I'll be back. All right, we're all back together. I did change the timing chain. Put on a new water pump, even though it didn't need it. There used to be a ticking coming from right there. It was timing chain slap. But everything's good, runs good. I did have to put a